Hey everybody, Tim the Nintendo Gamer here, back with some Mario Kart World. We're going into Knockout Tour. We're just showing you each one of the new rallies. So let's jump to the selection screen here. I think we'll be using Pauline this time. Let's give her something that's appropriate. Let's see, something nice and red. Maybe the lobster roller. Very nice. This time we're going to be doing Moon Rally. If you missed our first video, we covered the Golden Rally and the Ice Rally. So here we go, Moon Rally. This one cuts right across the track, 150cc. And what we've been noticing every time we race is the CPU on this game is getting better, especially in Knockout Tour. You don't always get the first place. And because of the knockout format, really what I'm just trying to show you is the whole race. So I will make sure that we at least get into the top 4, but let's try to get into that first place. So let's go, Pauline. And we'll be doing 2 of the cups for these. So we've got a nice little boost there. Pauline showing off her glamorous new style. Multiple tricks able to be done on each jump now. And I think, so you can see my positioning, let me just change my camera to this one. There we go. And I'll try and let you know what items I'm holding. At the moment in first position I've got Trip Mushrooms, and then in second position I have my Mega Mushroom. Mega Mushroom sort of makes you invulnerable and huge for a section. It's my favorite new power-up. For Knockout Tour, we found like the best thing to do is sort of do a little bit of bagging. And for those of you that are new to Mario Kart, so bagging is when you sort of stay near the back until you get some good items, and then towards the end try and use those good items to get you near the front. Thanks to the rubber banding, the fact that it keeps the racers out in front close to you, especially when you're playing against the CPU. This is usually a good tactic, but like I said, even using this tactic, I haven't had a perfect run. Used 2 of my mushrooms there. So I've got a Mega Mushroom. Then some of the new features here that you've probably seen is after I use my Mega Mushroom, I'm actually going to get a food item, which I collected earlier, and that will hopefully change Pauline's costume, if it's an item that changes the costume. So here we go, it's the first gate. You just have to make sure you are 20th or higher, like Pauline. There we go. Let's try and use this Mega Mushroom just to give you a look at what that looks like. Okay, let's get out of the way here. Okay, let's try use this boost. So here we go. Here's the costume change. We've got Aero Pauline. There we go. Let's try and get some more boxes along the way. And then let's use this section to see if we can show you some wall riding. Let's do this. Oh, not a great wall ride. Let's try that again. But anyway, let's use Kamek, the new technique here. I'm not the biggest fan of this Kamek one, because not only does it change everybody into a new item, sometimes it even puts things in the way, and so it affects you too. So not my favorite item. Kind of a bit of an offensive item that hurts you too. So I had Trip Mushrooms there, and now I've got a Super Horn left. Oh, just used it too late. So I'm going to use one of the items over here and then grab another meal and give me another boost. Remember, we want to be 16th or higher. Managed to hit 3, I think, there. Good. And then there's a new item, food. Very nice. So I've got Trip Mushrooms and then what do I have there? Question block. So that's just coins on the go. And you do want to collect coins if possible. There we go. Collecting coins on the go. Another Super Horn. So funny how the Super Horn's super common at the beginning. I probably shouldn't have done that, because we probably wanted that to hit the front few races so that I could catch up to him. But let's see what happens. Trying to use these mushrooms in good spots. Actually thought that was going to be bananas and landed up being a fireball. So I've got Trip Greens and I've got Trip Mushrooms for those keeping track. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Very nice. Let's see if we can get closer to those front riders. A bit of drafting there, back drafting there. Let's see if we can do this. Let's do that. Very nice. Let's see if Boo can find us something good. So we've got a green shell, and Boo's just found us a dash mushroom. So that's not too bad. Going to use that to protect myself. Very nice. And let's get that so we can get up there closer. I'm also using the charge jump, so that should help us there. Then we've got one banana and some food to give us a boost. Some milk, looks like. Let me just get out of the way of that. Oh, let's use that mushroom. No, missed it. Let's use that. Wow, there are bananas everywhere. Just everywhere. Ooh, interesting. Not sure what hit me there, but it was from the side. That is something you can do nowadays, because you can use your right stick to actually move the camera around and actually hit characters all over the map, behind you, to the side of you. I'm going to use that to just clear that area. Probably not the most effective use of that. I can hear shells flying all the way around me. Remember, we need to be 12th or better for this next gate. There it is over there. So we're doing okay. Now I've got the ice flower, as you can probably see behind me. There's a blue shell coming along the way. Let me get out of the way. Waluigi. I haven't quite figured out the mechanics of the water yet, but you do want to make use of anything that you can find, any sort of jump, because as I've mentioned, the mechanics of the water are a little bit tough, so you kind of want to use the items around the water whenever you can. Okay, there we go. We've got the hammer item, which is a bit of a difficult one to use. Just wanted to get out of the way of those incoming green shells. Let me try and throw that behind me. Still, and I managed to go between boxes there. Okay, let's see if we can get something here. Nope. Wait. Waluigi was even laughing at me there. Just remember, we have to be 8th or better in this section. Blue shells on the way. Here we go. 8th or better, so I really want to be making my way a bit higher at this point. Another thing is, using your mushrooms in the water seems to be a good idea in most cases, because you're not traveling that fast in the water these days. Bananas are not going to help me too much at this stage, and neither is the feather. But I'll use those until I've got some defensive items. Until I've got something a bit better. Hopefully we'll get another blue shell soon. Okay, let's try. Do this. Let's get a bit of a speed boost here. Nope, missed it and just got another banana. So yeah, not using my items very well. But there's that blue shell that I was hoping for. It just shows you how far it is ahead of me. I really need to do a lot of catching up here. There is one more gate. But hopefully we get some better items. We've got trip bananas and then a dash mushroom. So let's try and use those. I think I'd like to use that banana. Oh! Yep, that electricity will get you. Hopefully it means that she has no protection ahead of her though. Not sure where it exactly hit her. Let's see if we can lead us. Ooh, almost got the snipe ready. Just missed both times with the snipes. Sniping the banana and then the bomb. Ba-bomb! Okay, that's much better. Let's get through here. So this is the last gate. 4 and above go through. So we're in 2nd place currently, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, trying to catch the right in front of us. She's got some protection, so I want to be careful as to when I use this mushroom. But now she doesn't. She's using, there's a blue shell. She doesn't have protection, so I'm going to try give it a wide berth. But I've got a mushroom in my first position, and then I have a banana in second. So not bad items to have out in front. As long as I've got time. Sure, my turning on the water is horrific for some reason. This cart I don't think has the best handling, but might be me. There we go. And there we go. Let's do this. Just made it through. First position. Very nice. Third cup. Third rally. And we got our trophy. Very nice. Let's jump into the fourth rally for Knockout Tour. But before that, let's just check our placement there. Pauline in first, Yoshi in second, and Baby Peach in third. Very nice. Okay, let's jump into the next Knockout Tour trophy. Knockout Tour, there we go. And we've unlocked a new Pauline. Let's use someone different now. Let's go for Waluigi. Something purple to match Waluigi. How about this crazy contraption? The Rallygator. Nice. Okay, we are going to the Spiny Rally. Very nice. Let's head off into our next Knockout Tour. You know the rules. There are gates along the way. They're going to knock out the four lowest placed racers every time. It's like we're starting in the spooky section, the section that I hate. Not into the creepy, spooky stuff at all. So let's get through this part as soon as we can. Let's try and get a power start here. Waluigi is a bit of a character. So in terms of slots, I've got Trip Mushrooms in the first slot and nothing in second. There we go. Woo, woo. Holding on to those Trip Mushrooms until I can find a good spot to cut across the track. I think this might be it. Yes, and then we've got the shell, the coin shell, the golden shell. So let's see if we can get this coin shell to make some damage further down there and collect coins for us along the way, because we do want to get our coins up. This is actually a pretty good one. I don't know if I should snipe with this or leave this behind. I think I'm going to leave it behind. Yeah, looks like we did some damage there. And there's the first gate. 20 and up. Here's the little charge jump. While you don't want to be in the air too much, this is just, my first item is just a dash mushroom there. You don't want to be in the air too much actually, because it actually slows you down. Just want to get a bit closer to the first position, but I've got no protection. Let's hope there's some, okay, it's Trip Greens. Hopefully I cause some damage behind me because it was a very tight path, so it's probably a good time to use it. Okay, managed to defend myself there, but I'm just getting this bitty bug to get further and further away. Just allowing this bitty bug to get further and further away. Okay, there we go. There's something finally. See if they've got protection. Okay, I had some protection. They didn't, which is good. Hopefully that gives me something to aim for here. Okay, now I've got a super horn and trip bananas. Let's get some coins, get my speed up to where it should be. There we go, there's the second gate. I'm going to let this one go. And hopefully he's got no protection. Woo! And there we go, we're taking first place. And in first place we have got a super horn, which is a good one to have. And then trip bananas. So 2 defensive items. 2 of the best really, because I can protect against the blue shell and any other shell with the bananas. I'm just going to hope that there's no shock along the way. But of course I've said that, that means it's on the way, right? Okay, very good. There we go. That was almost perfect timing. Luckily the items are not too far away, and means everybody else has locked their items that's close to me. So hopefully I should have some time to get some protection, unless someone from very far back got it. We've got a coin now in the first slot and a green shell in the second. I'm trying to keep that coin there for a while, just to make sure that I have some protection in case a boo comes along, but I had to use it there. So not the best decision there. Oh, Not the best decision there, but need to get a boost. Oh, someone's dropping mushrooms, so I'm going to take those. Let's change our costume. Let's see what we've got. Vampire. Okay, very good. Someone's leaving mushrooms on the road. Item trucks, gotta love them. Okay, so actually what I want is a coin in the first slot and then a defensive item in the second slot. Oh, I've got 2 defensive items. That's pretty good, I'll take that. Let's do this. If you get in them, you get all the power-ups. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this combination. Ideally, I'd like something with speed, get away from the blue shell, but for now we're not getting those, so gonna stay up here. There we go, gonna have to turn. Oh, went right off the screen there. Wow, that was a really bad turn. But now I'm a king crab. Okay, no defense, but I'll take the king crab. There we go, Waluigi's back, or Vampire Luigi. Let's get coins. I don't know, I suppose I should be using this coin, at least will give me a bit of speed. I've got no protection, so that's no use. Nice, got at least 1 box. That's just going to give me coins. Let's jump up here. Get that box over there. Fortunately, that cost me quite a bit. Let's see what we get. Biker. No, stay away. Stay away. Okay, green shells all over. Let's try and get some of this. Oh, blue shell. Oh. Okay, we've got mushrooms. Single mushroom and then a double. I think I'm going to take a chance here. There was an example of some of the characters actually reacting to you. There's the 8th gate, or the gate for the top 8. I'm going to need some protection. I hope I'm going to get it because they're all on my tail. But I suspect this is just going to be a coin. Yep. Let's try and do what we can. At least we've got our 20 coins. That's making us a little bit faster. But at the moment, we've got no real protection. And there we go. Thankfully, I just need to get at least 1. There we go. Protection, but a weird sort of protection. There we go. Nice, I think I left that bomb. Hopefully it will surprise someone. Wow, dropped into 7 in that little move. Okay, I think I'm going to use this. I've got a Mega Mushroom, and then I have... Okay, but I need to use this pretty much right now, because I'm in a terrible position. So I need to get back up to the front position just before this gate, which I think is not too far away. Thankfully, just did that. Kind of a tight one there. As you can see, these CPUs are not bad. At least I've got some protection with a green shell in that first slot. I'm on 17 coins. Probably should have got some coins there. Ooh, I think there are green shells flying all over the place. Okay, we've got a green shell. Sure, not what happened there. Just lost all my speed. Let's hope I got something there. Nothing really useful, and I think we're right at the end. So I think I'm not going to make it to the first place, but let's see. Let's see what we can do. What damage can we cause? Oh, not good enough. But that's third. At least we got to see the whole track. As I was mentioning, the CPU is not bad. Maybe the user is also not amazing. But let's see the final standings. And that's another 2 of Mario Kart Tour's Knockout Tour. Down. See final positionings: Birdo, Parabiddybug, and Waluigi. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember to stay tuned for our next video. And remember, it's dangerous to go alone, so take this!